Well, hello, Nigel, and thank you for joining us today. And a special thank you for sharing your project with our other customers. I mean, they'll find we've got feedback that they find the thinking process that you've gone through very, very useful for their own projects.
No problem.
Right.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And Nigel, if you cast your mind back probably quite a while when this whole space that you're in, this lovely space, was just a figment of your imagination, if you could just tell us what you were trying to do, how you plan to use the space, and how you went about the project.
Well, we've knocked down what was originally here pretty much and rebuilt. And we always envisaged having a sort of bright, open, sort of dining, snug area attached to the kitchen to bring in lots of light. Sort of orangery inspired, I guess. Yeah, so we always knew there was going to be requirements for blinds and things. I think we probably fell over at the start by not thinking that through fully at the build stage. But obviously, fortunately, WindowTreat were able to come up with some solutions when we got to that part of the project.
Yeah, and how do you use the space?
Well, it's a dining area, and just dining table just behind us, me and a little snug. So we've got a little sofa and TV. So it's used a lot because it's connected to the kitchen. It means you're all together a lot of the time. So it's a very relaxing area. And we're fortunate that when we put the blinds up later, you'll see we've got quite a nice garden. So yes, it's a very pleasant spot.
And it looks like your dog Jasper definitely likes the relaxing part.
He does, yes. Don't you? Yeah.
There he's heard his name. So okay, so you went about this space, and then what were the concern when you realized you'd need to look at shading? What were the concerns you were most keen to resolve?
Heat. We always knew, right? When we were designing with the architect the area, that heat was going to be a problem because we've got a very big lantern window above me, plus so much glass with huge, great big bifolds and tilt and turns. So we're always going to have a problem with heat. Brightness, yes, that was going to be an issue, but heat was going to be the primary concern because without controlling the heat coming through, the room would unusable, and that proved its point during the build. Once we before we got the blinds fitted, you couldn't use the space when the sun was fully out.
And I think privacy wasn't an issue for you.
Fortunately not. So what we have done is we haven't gone full out on the sort of the heat protectiveness on the vertical blinds because it allows that we can still see through the blinds out into the garden, which is something that we always wanted to be able to do. We didn't want blinds that came down and were completely like blackout.
Yeah. And you're in the space. You've mentioned earlier it was unusable before, just after the build stage. And now, has it resolved I mean, heat was the biggie, wasn't it? So has it made the space usable and resolved the heat issue?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So we can use it all year round. And obviously the heat issue is a two-way thing, which we sort of felt more as we've we've just been through a winter. So in the lantern, at night, we'll close it because obviously it stops that coldness that comes through the lantern dropping down into the room. And it's noticeable if you just open it up a bit in the morning, you can actually feel that cold air drop. Yeah, so it just seals that away, so it keeps the room warm in the winter if you want to. But equally, the most important part in the summer, it does a fantastic job of reflecting the heat out and allowing you to stay in the room in the space no matter what the weather is.
Well, fantastic, fantastic. And the final question before I ask you to show off the Twin Athena blind, roof lantern blind, and the side blinds you've got, is would you recommend WindowTreat to friends and family?
Yes, definitely, yes. Been very, say, informative, cooperative, friendly. So yes, certainly
Well,
would.
thank you. That's music to my ears. And big moment. Could you open and close the blinds, do you think?
I can. What I'll do is I'll just pick up the computer and step back a bit, so hopefully you can see everything a little bit better, and we'll get it all to sing and dance because we do have everything controlled. Oops. If I get out of the way, hopefully, there you go. So I can, at the touch of a button, make everything move in one go. So we've got 7 verticals plus the lantern all going there. And obviously we can do them all individually. It's all been programmed by yourselves to the sort of different situations that we may like to open and close things at. So there you go. There, in fact, press of a button, it all comes tumbling back down again. And so as soon as you've got 7 verticals and 1 large, very large lantern, which just runs off the mains, not a huge amount of noise either. It's pretty quiet. There you go. And I don't know if you can tell from there, but you say you certainly can see through the blinds. I'm not sure how well that comes through on the camera, but there we go.
Well, thank you ever so much, Nigel, and for sharing your experience with us and our other customers.
No problem. You're welcome.